Lilo Makudir. The time is 9:32. 9:32, yeah. We'll be switching gears. We'll be chatting to our good friends at Islamic Relief South Africa on, I think, reflecting on a very, very successful tour in the last few days. The South African Muslim community in particular was deeply moved by the visit of renowned scholar and activist Dr. Omar Suleiman, who joined us here in South Africa for a very, very powerful tour. This was in conjunction with the Yaqeen Institute. Islamic Relief also played a major, major role. These events, I think, not only inspired spiritual reflection, but also served as a crucial call to action, especially when it comes, to Gaza and the ongoing humanitarian crisis. Well, human-induced humanitarian crisis, we should mention. Well, human-induced in this case is the Israeli genocidal machine induced humanitarian crisis in Gaza. And joining us today to discuss Islamic Relief South Africa's role in this tour, as well as their critical relief efforts in Palestine and beyond, is Athraah Wadee, Fund Development Support Officer at IRSA, and she's joining us via our virtual platform. Athraah, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to News and Views. Always a pleasure chatting to you.
Wa alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah, it's a pleasure to be with you guys this morning.
The pleasure is all ours. Athraah, Dr. Omar Suleiman's recent tour in conjunction with the Yaqeen Institute was very, very successful. It was all over social media. It was so well attended. It resonated so deeply with many of us here in South Africa. Can you share how Islamic Relief South Africa was involved in this initiative, and what were the key objectives of these events?
Yes, Alhamdulillah, Islamic Relief was humbled and even more so thrilled to be the charity partner for Dr. Omar Suleiman's tour titled The Determined Ummah, which we chatted about the last time. And it took place in all three of our major regions: Cape Town, kickstarting Johannesburg, along with its gala dinner, and then Durban over the long weekend. Alhamdulillah, Durban finished off last night. And as an Ummah, we've been tested like never before in our lifetimes with witnessing the genocide that's being waged against our brothers and sisters in Gaza. Alhamdulillah. Dr. Omar Suleiman, along with a lot of our local ulama who joined him in some Q&A sessions, contributed on their insights during his tour here. And they advocated and liberated for the people of Palestine, alhamdulillah. So I think we could see that this tour was used as yet another effort to remind the South African Ummah on how important it is to support the people of Gaza, alhamdulillah, and to just pay attention to their unwavering resilience and their faith and the collective action that we need to take, alhamdulillah, and stand up for the justice, inshallah.
No, definitely. Beyond, just emergency relief in Gaza, what are some of the key projects that Islamic Relief South Africa will be prioritizing in the coming months, especially, as we're approaching the Qurbani season?
So, alhamdulillah, with the Determined Ummah conference that Sheikh Omar Suleiman gave, our CEO, Brother Yusuf Muhammad, was able to share insight on the scale of the humanitarian crisis in Gaza, which is growing more and more and becoming direly every day. He also profiled the reach of our organization across Gaza and the Gaza Strip itself since October 2023, including the provision of the following, alhamdulillah: 72 million hot meals, psychosocial support for over 10,000 orphans, and ongoing support for orphan sponsorship for 17,755 orphans. Then to top that off, we've also helped with 2.2 million medical items across the Gaza Strip, alhamdulillah.
I want to come back to the Omar Suleiman tour. One of the major themes of the tour was urging the public to support humanitarian efforts in Gaza. How can people, our listeners, contribute through Islamic Relief, and what kind of impact will their donations have on the ground?
Alhamdulillah, we have our Gaza campaign or our Palestine appeal, which viewers can find on our website, inshallah. I'll share the address at the end. And then just contacting us via any of our social medias, Instagram, our email addresses on our website, our contact numbers. Also, our teams are always around doing various events in aids of Gaza, alhamdulillah. And those proceeds then go through the channels to meet the people.
Mm, 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 mm.
And that's how
Many
we are committed.
Yes. Many of our listeners are quite familiar with IRSA's annual Qurbani program. I think it's one of the best. We have its ads playing out with the sheep. It's very very important, and I think it's making a world of difference to millions of South Africans and people from the continent and abroad. Could you tell us a bit more about this initiative? How does it work? And most importantly, how can people get involved?
Alhamdulillah, as we just touched on Gaza, we are very committed to providing life saving aid to the people of Palestine and unite until there's a permanent ceasefire. But more so, like you've mentioned, Alhamdulillah, we work in over 40 countries as well,
Mm,
including right here at home. And over the next few months, as we're approaching Dhul Hijjah, will be raising funds for, like you mentioned, our annual Qurbani program. And I think, alhamdulillah, as excited as you are about our ads, I think our office is too. We will be launching the Qurbani program. Alhamdulillah, last year through our donors, incredible donations, and through the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we were able to feed at least 45,000 people through South Africa just in 2024.
mm,
So these are some families that, alhamdulillah, receive these nutritional packs so rarely, and we know what the struggling economy and the cost of livestock, how important it is to fulfill our imana through this Qurbani period.
no, definitely. Athra, before I let you go, I think you touched on a very, very important point. The economy, the state of it, the cost. What message would you convey to South Africans? There's a phenomenon that I read about. Donor fatigue. That are
Yeah.
feeling a bit tired. They feel we've given so much. There's feeling a bit not making an impact as much as they would. What message would you have to them, to people that are feeling
So,
like that?
Alhamdulillah, as believers, we are called to love for our brothers and sisters what we love for ourselves. And with that, at Islamic Relief, we try to offer the best possible high quality standards, including the health of the and the age of the sacrifice of the animal that will be offering, inshallah. And if you're considering, even though donor fatigue is a thing, if you're considering to use Islamic Relief for your Qurbani, alhamdulillah, our price ranges from 1,250 to 7,800 per animal,
Hmm.
depending on the livestock in the local area which it will be sacrificed in. So I think the main thing we can take out of there, as much as we know that there's donor fatigue and we're constantly appealing and asking, but again, we'll just leave with that statement of we love for our brothers and sisters what we love for ourselves. So alhamdulillah, if we are able to make this sacrifice and offer these offerings to the most vulnerable communities located in the most remote areas that are struggling with conflict and disaster, the high quality Qurbani that we offer, inshallah, through our generous donors who entrust us with their imana, alhamdulillah, I think we can still overcome that donor fatigue.
No, definitely, and I think a very, very important point that you're making there, Atra. And yeah, I know our listeners, they're big supporters of Islamic Relief, and from us here at Salam Media, kudos to the wonderful work that you guys are doing, not just here in South Africa, but also abroad. You guys have a huge footprint, and yeah, it's through organizations like yourselves, that people get the much needed assistance that they need, especially the most vulnerable in our communities. Really appreciate it. Looking forward to chat to you again in the not so distant future. Salam.
Just Jazakallah so much. And for anybody wanting to find out about the Qurbani campaign,
Yes.
they can log on to www.islamicrelief.org.za and they'll find all the information there. Jazakallah
Definitely.
again.
we'll be putting up that website for our listeners, www.islamicrelief.org.za. There you have it. X, put it up. Athraah, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much.
Okay, shukran so much. Assalamu
I
alaikum.
mean, that was Athraah Wadee, IRSA Fund Development Support Officer. And if you want to, lend a helping hand, you want to make a difference, you want to be part of the change, as you heard there from Athraah, you can head over to their website, www.islamicrelief.org.za. They have all their information there. They have all of their, contact details there, all of the major, projects that they have embarked on, some of the success stories also of the projects that they have done, whether it was in Ramadan or previously. And what's important is, they're not just working internationally; they're also so very, very involved here at home in South Africa. And that's the message I like driving. That charity begins at home. We can't start working in other places when right here on our doorstep. We have neighbors, we have families, we have friends and cousins who also need much needed assistance and aid. I mean, the state of our economy is in tatters. We have the highest unemployment rate in the world. So it's organizations like Islamic Relief that are able to, assist those that are so close to us, those that we can see almost every day, the help that they need. I mean, winter is coming up, and you can imagine how many of those that are living in dire conditions are going to be suffering. So yeah, Islamic Relief, kudos. If you want to help, be of assistance, you want to give a hand and make a difference, they are all of their details are on their website, www.islamicrelief org org.za. There you have it. Thanks, X. So yeah, that's their website. Please click on there, get a bit more information, educate yourself, and ultimately get involved. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, News and Views continues.